Welcome to Car Rant.
Wicked tones, you know. What's
Hold up!
Metro Boomin want some more, no. Wiggy. Hold up, Wiggy. Hold up, Stand up in the motor, bust the dashboard. Stand up in the motor, bust the dashboard. Hold up, Wiggy. Counters burning, money burning, graveyard eating.
Welcome back to Absolutely Not for the Meek Car Rant. I think today is going to be a pretty good episode. It is January 31st, 2024. All right. Oh my goodness. All right. So today's topic is, as usual, NPCs. These crazy, delusional people. Now let me tell you what happened.
Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what
is the issue
doing, what it's doing. Get it out of my face.
that I have going on today?
Buttered sausage.
Which have you ever had someone?
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey.
A crazy friend? Have you ever had a crazy friend? And what I would suggest, my advice to anyone with a crazy friend, cut them off immediately. Do not participate in Looney Tune behaviors, because there's always going to be an issue. And these friends can be identified. Oh my goodness. They can be identified. They could be identified as people, like, let's say you're a married couple, and your wife has a crazy friend that goes ahead and you get into an argument with your wife and everything, a little small argument, nothing that serious. But you're a guy like me, a New Yorker, that you drop the F-bomb on a regular basis. I mean, just regular conversation. And this crazy person is going to say that you're abusive, all because of how you talk. And be talking crap about you all the time, meddling into your marriage. And your wife don't see the issue. She just don't see it. She just like, well, you are abusive. I mean, this is the same type of chick that will go ahead and tell her own daughter to call the police on her father because he's scolding her and disciplining his child. He can't do that. How dare you? How dare you be a man and take charge of everything and raising your child? This is the type of crazy female we're talking about. These females, no matter how much you look out for them, they manage to screw up everything, and also will say to you, well, you haven't done nothing for me. All the stuff I've done for you, you never do nothing for them. I mean, unbelievable.
You try to take my peace, it's game over. It's game over. As soon as I know that you're trying to take my peace, it's over with. You can no longer be around me to some capacity. We're not talking about people that don't intentionally do things and you let them know that I don't like that. And they change that and they say, my bad, I'm sorry, didn't know, wasn't intentional. But I'm talking about the people that know because they did it before and they know how you reacted before and they keep doing it. Game over. You either can't help yourself, and if you can't help yourself, that's one thing. But if you ain't helping me and my spirit, my well-being, my peace, you might need a total cutoff or you may need a distance to some capacity. But either way, I gotta get my peace back. You can't do that to me. Nah, you ain't gonna do that to me. I won't allow it. It's that simple. Love.
And you take your career, your life, and you put it all in jeopardy, your family all in jeopardy, because you dealing with a crazy. I know this guy, he didn't like the word crazy. He was like traumatized. Traumatized people. Man, whatever you want to call it. They are traumatized. They're crazy. They're NPCs. Stupid as all hell, think they know something. And some of them, they can pass tests, man. I mean, you know what scares me the most? There's one crazy NPC that comes to mind that's in my not in my life, but in my perimeter. This NPC is going to school to become a RN. Man, I tell you, boy, this chick got patients complaining about her already, and she just a CMA. You know, they dare not put her on a med card. They dare not do that. They know she's already got a bad rap everywhere. People are like, no, you can't work here. They shutting her down. The whole city is like, nah. She's like on a do not hire list. And the one place that they give her a chance because of her friend, she goes ahead and is like stalking the friend, assaulting the friend at the job. And it's like, wow. And I told her friend, I said, yo, that's a crazy mofo right there, boy. Crazy, batshit crazy. I mean, and ugly as all hell. Oh, well, you know what I was thinking? Why? It's like, you gotta think of something. Why is it a lot of these crazy people are ugly as hell? And only thing I can think of is that they be looking in the mirror and act like that. I mean, for one thing, you must be crazy if you think you're good looking and you ugly like that. So, but imagine if you go along with the world perception, which you're watching TV, you're watching movies, you're looking at attractive, good-looking people every day of your life. And then you look in the goddamn mirror. Oh my goodness. The reality kicks in. Like, damn, I'm not good looking. I'm an ugly person. Maybe that is the trauma that they're dealing with. There's a news thing, a report on a guy that assaulted his girlfriend, and then also after he assaulted her, this is if I have it right. I'm going to go ahead and play the feed in a minute. So he assaults the girlfriend and then leaves the scene of the crime and goes out. They hunt him down and everything like that. By the time the cops catch him, he was shot 7 times. And when you look at this guy's with his picture and look at the video of him, man, this guy is hideous. He looked like that guy from Mad, a ghetto Mad dude. You know Mad magazine? He looks like that. Check it out.
This brutal attack went on for hours against this poor woman in her own home. Allegedly, Notforthe Parchman beat her repeatedly and sexually assaulted her with a hair straightener that was turned on.
The crime scene photos in and of itself, I think, speak to the significance of this assault.
Torture, criminal sexual conduct, and assault. It's what 30-year-old Notforthe Parchman is charged with for terrorizing an ex-girlfriend late last month at this Van Buren Township apartment. Investigators tell Fox 2 he showed up at his ex's house drunk and started punching her in the face. Then he smashed ashtrays over her head and continued to violate her using a hot hair straightener. The beating went on with an extension cord and more blows to her head. After about 3 hours of this agony, she was able to escape to a neighbor's place where they called police. But before they got there, Parchman allegedly stole her car and left. Earlier this week, the U.S. Marshals tracked him to Taylor. He was in a car when he was arrested with 7 bullet wounds that hadn't been treated. They came from some kind of shootout in Inkster during his time on the run, something he brought up in court Tuesday.
I got shot 7 times Sunday. And I still got bullets in me that's supposed to get out, and my hand was supposed to get surgery, and my knee, my leg broke.
Parchman, no stranger to the prison system, serving time for unlawful imprisonment, drugs, and a home invasion. The woman who he attacked spent several days in the hospital and is still recovering from her serious injuries. A judge gave Parchman a $250,000 cash bond, no 10%. With all of his priors, if he's found guilty on these latest charges, he's looking at some serious prison time.
Buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered sausage?
So you see what I'm saying? I mean, man, listen. And that brings to a point. What chick is messing with this dude? This guy is a bum. He's crazy. He ugly as all hell. And Richard, she messing with him. She's like that video. That's my man. He's mine, and I'm gonna keep it.
Look at the screen.
That's mine.
And that's what you're going to settle for.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
So, with this information that I was looking over for this video, I have come to some understanding, and I had a vision, because there's a lady that does videos on Black Women Found or something like that, and I mean, man, listen, when you look at how many Black women, Black females are murdered on a regular basis, it's just phenomenal. And I think I know why. I mean, I don't condone murdering anybody. I mean, it's totally out of line and unacceptable. But when they choose Pookies like Pookie and Tyrone or these crazy, not even a freaking Chad. I mean, but when they get these Pookies and everything like that, and they have relationships with them, and then they have a certain behavior, You gotta realize that this is what it is. This is what I believe it is. Because of these females are following bad, bad, bad bees. You know, the boss chicks, the bad bitches, the females that keep this bad toxic bad toxic way of living going, the culture, this toxic culture, ghetto culture. Because like I said before in my last video, how women keep the culture going. They promote it. They're the ones that have accepted and love it. They're like, yo, I love the drug dealer, the scammer. I like the fast money and everything like that. They ain't about having a good man or nothing like that. They don't want that. That's not in their eyesight at all. They're looking for these D boys, and that's what they go through. So they keep on pushing this narrative, and all they would have to do is have some common sense, stop being females, stop being NPC females, and go ahead and look at the reality, not looking at short-term money, because he's going to get locked up. You know, he's going to be done, and then what? You know, so if you get rid of that toxic mindset, you could actually go ahead and have a decent life. You know, going for a good man.
Who you would think would last longer, Jenny, if the other sex disappeared, men or women?
Oh, absolutely, men would last longer, because the only reason why women can exist now is because men have civilized the world. And so if men were to evaporate right now, because what is it right now? Right now where I am, it's 10:30. So by 10:30 in the morning, like a third of all women would be dead, because they would have like gotten eaten by a lion, or they'd have fallen into a river, or they would have tried to fix some kind of electrical thing and they'd have shot themselves and died. And so, you know, that would just be the way that things would go. And then the other 2/3 of us that would have still survived the next 12 hours would just, we would kill each other, you know, because the highest rates of domestic violence are in lesbian relationships. So we would not stand a chance if it were not for men bringing us back down to earth and keeping us in line.
Getting yourself ready. First, you got to get yourself together. You have to become a good woman that deserves a good man. You got to do the work.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but ladies, if you are unwilling to make personal changes and you feel like you are fine exactly how you are, I suggest you stop dating. Because here's the truth. In order to have a happy and fulfilling relationship, it will require you to change things about you. So here's my issue. When you get a job, your employer has requirements and things that they want you to change about you. They may need you to change your hair, your clothes, the way you talk, some of your habits. You have no issues making these changes because you see the value in the check receive. But when it comes to a man having requirements, expectations, asking things of you to change, that is where you draw the line, because God forbid you make any changes for a good man. So here is my question to you. Do you not see the value in having a good man, or have you set your value so high you feel like there are no men good enough for you? And for all my ladies that's going to say, well, I'm not making no change for no man, he ain't a good man. Shut up. That's your problem now. You don't know how to listen. Because the truth is, if you make the necessary changes about yourself, you'll stop attracting them idiots and you'll attract better, good men. Start making the changes
You got to work on yourself. Because if you're not going to work on yourself, then then you get what you get. And that's what they're getting. They're getting these pookies because they're Phukets. But let's go into the type of females that they're listening to. And listening to these females is just, you're already dealing with a low-class male. And when you act like this, like a low class female, I think they're bugging out. They're tripping, and they go ahead and off these chicks. Check this out.
Whatever comes out of a man's mouth, reverse it. Okay? Whatever come out of a man's mouth, reverse it. There is your truth. Okay? So, for example, if he says, oh, you can have any man in this room you want. Why me? It means he wants you to stroke his ego. He wants you to tell him about himself. He wants you to talk about him because you are just so fabulous. And he doesn't want to say anything about you except that one thing. But he wants you to go on and on about him. He wants you to know who he is and what he is offering and why he's special to you. He's making you prove yourself to him. He's insecure as well as narcissistic. Or just narcissistic and making you feel insecure. So that's what that is. You got to be like, oh, I don't know. You're right. And walk off. And then turn around and say, just kidding. You look like you'd buy me a drink. That's why I came over here. Honestly. You look pretty lonely. Just flip it. You look lonely, you know? And I knew you'd buy me a drink because I look good. That's why I stood here. Then laugh, like, just kidding. Then he don't know if you're joking or not. Now he's going to have to prove himself to you. Oh, like a woman with a sense of humor. I know, right? You know, I came over here because you look like a nice guy. That's all you got to say. Nice guy. Nice guy is very general. Oh, you look like a nice guy. It's a backhanded compliment. So don't ever fall for the traps, ladies. Reverse the traps. Because some of y'all are just so nervous and desperate, y'all will answer that damn question. Just like y'all answer the question, what do you bring to the table? Just get up and walk off. If you're sitting down to dinner and some dude has a nerve to ask what you bring to the table, get up and walk off. There's his answer. When I first met him, I just asked straight up, I need some money. When we were in the car driving, because when we were in the car, I had my little short skirt on, show some legs. I was holding his hand, rubbing the back of his neck, touching his ear. Baby, I need some money. He gonna swirl to the ATM. How much you need? There you go. That's all you gotta do. You can't be all nervous and need some money. No, you gotta play with them ears, with your short skirt on, or show a little bit of cleavage. Don't if you're showing legs, don't show cleavage. Don't show it all. Pick one. Because if you're too slutty, they think you do it to everybody. And the skirt shouldn't really be short. It should just hike up when you sit in the car or when you sit down so they can see the leg. And then you can be like, sit next to him instead of across from him. That way you get out. You'd be like, I love your ears. They're so cute. That money is yours. I promise you. It's yours. All yours. He gonna give it all. He gonna empty his account. He gonna have to transfer from his savings if he broke. But he gonna give it to you. They said prostitutes are monsters. No, we're not. I'm not a prostitute. I can get paid to have sex. I got paid to play with ears. How you doing? When I first
buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face.
I don't know. It's just a sad situation.
Created a generation of narcissistic women. We've created a generation of narcissistic women. And what's happened is the rise of social media and the rise of feminism has taught women that they are not to blame for any poor choices. Every poor choice is glamorized. If you want to post in bikini pictures online, it's fine. Every poor choice is glamorized, and every internal reflection is seen as gaslighting yourself. So they've even got terms for internal reflection to prevent it happening. And so what will happen is they are trained to not reflect on themselves because we've been told we've been oppressed for so many years. Now it's time to make sure we project. And so we don't take any accountability. And as a result, when we get into relationships, if we don't feel completely soothed all the time, he must be a narcissist. He must be a manipulator. He must be gaslighting. He, rather than I. And unfortunately, we've got an online market that caters to that wounded woman, that caters to that entitled woman, and caters to that narcissistic woman.
Spent so much time pointing at my husband, pointing out the things that I wish he would change, nagging at him for the things that he wasn't. I spent so many years doing that I could have actually spent working on myself. If I would have been truthful and realized that I was the common denominator of my failed relationships. It's me, Judge. Yeah, me. I'm the problem. Girl, you gonna get in this marriage and the enemy will try to deceive you like that man is the problem. It's you. To be honest with y'all, I don't think that I became a good wife until I got to the lowest moment of like looking at myself and saying, you're not a good wife. It wasn't until then that I got up and I was like, okay, now that I've faced myself, I can see what I'm working with and I can grow. But as I was continuing to ignore and act delusional, like he was the only one with issues, I kept falling in this tunnel. And so a lot of us are running from ourselves and so ready to blame our husbands and he don't do this. Baby, when you go to heaven, God ain't gonna ask you what that man did. He's gonna talk to you about you. If I focus on myself, I go on my individual healing journey, I will see why I am the way that I am and how I can get better, but not to arrive in this marriage like, here's the prize. I'm here. Here's your lovely wife. No, girl, you are angry, codependent. You don't know how to serve. You don't know how to just shut up. Let's get real. You're the problem.
And just like the woman that is no longer friends with this psychotic, ugly, oh Lord have mercy.
Love TikTok. I love TikTok. And I love the compilation videos of women who've gotten divorced or older women and they've left their husband unhappy and then they're back in the streets and they're getting all the sex they want. They're going to get ran through by all the men in the streets, but no one will treat them with the love, respect, kindness, loyalty, duty, and honor that their husband did. And they, a lot of them are regretting it, but their pride, their narcissism won't let them admit they made a mistake. It was better when I was married, and they could see the wrong that they did. When they get divorced, they're ready to give it. They can't give it away enough because that's all they're useful for.
Boy, I hope she learned her lesson and she goes ahead and embraces her husband and work things out, because she's been ingesting all this toxicity in her life, and go ahead and follow what a real woman does.
Let's talk about the males and how they need sex. Now, when I say need, I truly mean need. It's something that's inbred in their DNA. It's not a want. It's not something that they get excited about and want to have once in a while. It is something that helps them function. It is something that helps them move, feel better. It's a need for them.
And be kind and loving and had to stop real short. Kind, loving, and just just be good. You know what I'm saying? Encouraging. Be encouraging. Which tell him how much how valuable he is and how much you love him and how great he is and everything. Just give him encouragement. God damn. It don't take much. Encourage. Okay? I mean, god damn. But they follow these chicks that's giving these bad advice and everything like that, and just mentally, like, it's something about the female mind. I'm telling you, something about it. It is totally out of whack. The brainwashed by these stupid influencers like 7 whatever, spice, sprinkle whatever, and Priscilla, the queen maker. I mean, god damn.
There's some good men out there. But what it is now, it's the women. It ain't the men no more. The women gone bad. The women gone bad. It ain't the men now. It's the women done gone bad.
You gonna flip the script on us?
Yeah, it's the women done gone bad.
You a woman yourself.
I'm a woman myself, but I don't do half the things I see these women do now.
They don't care no more.
That's when the men don't respect them. That's why. Let me tell you something, Amber. You got to give a man respect to get respect. You know what I'm saying? You got to give your husband respect to get respect. Because as long as you respect him, ain't too much he gonna do wrong. It ain't too. The reason
When does it stop? All right, so anyway, I think that's it for today. For this, I'm just gonna head on. I gotta go to the dentist and get a cleaning, and I don't know. Maybe I might have time later to do another video. But I'll see you, and then I'll see you then.
Everyone, that is a fucking wrap. This is a message to all the single ladies. To the single ladies, don't independence your way into loneliness. Struck a nerve, didn't it? This man, who you think you talking to? Listen, don't independence your way into loneliness. What I mean by that is, it's not because you're single and that you're alone, is that you're lonely. Don't get in all on your feelings. Don't independence your way into loneliness. When you and your homegirls are sitting up, having all these conversations, tearing down, chopping down, being mean and condescending towards men, even though we might deserve most of the shit that y'all are actually saying. What's end up happening is, mentally and spiritually, you're building a force field. And it's like every time you see a man, it's like bug spray, virtual bug spray comes out. And you're saying, based on all of these waiting to exhale moments where me and my girls are sitting around the table talking about lying and cheating and dog-ass men and how it ain't a lot of good men left out here, it's like you're pulling out bug spray. As soon as a man try and flirt with you, talk to you, anything, you like, treat motherfuckers like a mosquito. And what's really going on is, you're going home, you got a little dog. He's a poodle. And every time you walk in the house, this little dog is happy as hell to see you. And we're being replaced with animals, busyness, independent hustle. I'm going to get my own, make my own. I don't need no.
Tyrese did not have a forever family. Because you can't build forever families with harachatangs, because everything with them, it's transactional. This woman had a husband, a home, a new child, a chef, housekeepers, access to vehicles, all of the worldly trappings of happiness, and still could not manage her misery. You're not grateful. What does she do? She does what all the ratchetangs do. They create chaos where none exists, and then they tear down their own homes with their own hands. And then they sit back and they just watch the flames. They just watch the flames.
Okay, what is your point of reference to what a marriage is? How can I naturally know how to be something I was never raised by? You don't know what a wife is because you've never had the blueprint, a point of reference of what a wife is. In your mind, a wife is just getting a ring. That's not a wife. Are you ready to mentally, spiritually, emotionally, sexually hold your man down? Or is it just about getting a ring and being able to say, I's married now? This is not The Color Purple. This is reality. You don't have what it takes to be a wife. It's not just about the man. That's not the reason that marriages fail. They love to blame it the man. They love to say, he cheated on me, that's why it's over. I am bored out of my mind. I'm with you. Listen, I told this woman, if I was stranded I was so bored. Every time I went through the worst periods of my life on a personal level. This woman didn't know what to say or do to help me to get through. You were physically there, but I still felt alone. I said to her, if I was stranded on an island and they said you can take either a thing or a person, it wouldn't be you.
You told her that?
I told her that.
That's why you
probably could have just broke up.
That wasn't about tearing her down. Listen, I'm already on an island and I feel by myself. When you get in the most vulnerable, dark spaces in your life, when you're dealing with the roughest patches, your wife and your girl or whoever is supposed to be there to help you to get through. It's me and my baby. There's nobody else. You can't buy me nothing to fix this. You can't pull up a car with a ribbon on it to fix it. I need to have a conversation with my woman, with my wife. They don't understand that. They would say, my face is pretty, my ass is big, my stomach is flat. This should be enough to help you to get through, right? I can go to the kitchen and cook something for you.
Back to the
It'll
first
fix
point.
it. No. That's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, it's very simple. When you get married, when all of the balloons are gone and the tents are torn down, your little horse and carriage and 1,500 people that you flew in town, do you even know the person you're marrying? Do I love you more than I know you? How is it possible for me to be talking, oh my God, he's amazing and she's amazing? You're selling everybody on some shit that you don't even believe. So then when it's all said and done and the smoke clears, you don't even know the person you married. That's it.
Yeah.
Women give up on men too quick, man.
I agree with that.
So if you slip up, it's not always equated to cheating. Stop giving up. At the end of the day, listen, if you walk up the street right now, are you as a woman, can you say you don't see the value in that man because he's homeless?